Oh, so is this for the mic check or are we filming?
Well, it's just for mic check, but if it's good, I might use it.
Okay. Okay, maybe you will go. So my name is Sofya Chibisguleva. I am an artist and writer. This one is the factory Red October, which, as the name suggests, was founded after the revolution. And there are lots of suites that have really nice original artworks on it. For example, this one can be found in the State Tretyakov Gallery. And it is a painting by Shishkin, and it's called, I believe, The Morning in the Pine Forest. Don't quote me on that, I don't remember. It does not say here, but it should say on the website.
You are planning on leaving the country, right?
I am planning on doing it very soon. Everyone that I love and that I respect have left. Some of them went to prison. I guess also a big part of it plays that my family really urges me to leave, because they know that nothing good awaits me here.
By the way, what are you gonna do with her?
Oh, I'm gonna take her with me, of course. It's gonna be difficult with like all the international kind of certification and everything, but she's a member of the family, so I'm not leaving her.
Добрый вечер. Ровно 2 часа прошло после встречи Горбачева.
Открытого огня, почувствую кну, взрывает эту плоть в меня. Кажется, это конец. Может быть, нам было бы лучше умереть. Черные дыры, смысла в них нет. Черные дыры, смысла в них нет. Они хотят, и смысла в них нет. Они хотят в разные стороны. Спасибо.
Хорошо.
Sorry, I'm going to...
You wanna fuck a little bit? Oh.
I'm just going to put her somewhere.
Maybe I will quote one artist who in the end of 80s said, to be contemporary artist in Russia means to be hunting lions. It's a very dangerous profession. Contemporary art in the whole world relates to democracy. When I give lecture on the art of 90s, I tell story of 90s to my students. They are always surprised how far you could go in your consideration of contemporary moment. It was totally free.
Очень прекрасно и хорошо, вокруг было очень много энергии, но в какой-то момент я тоже стал ей захлебываться, этой свободой. И эта свобода была же свобода для всех. И тех, кто хочет что-то созидать, и для тех, кто хочет танком ехать там, по жизням и судьбам тоже. Да.
Вот и ушел в историю 91 год. Год, как теперь принято говорить, крутой, но очень светлый, потому что мы все впервые в жизни встречаем Новый год совершенно свободными людьми.
We should keep in mind that in 1991, one country disappeared and another country appeared to the world.
За Горбачева! За Горбачева! За Горбачева! За Горбачева!
This newly born country had to take control over economics, over social programs, industry, financial market, and culture was in the end of the line. somewhere in 1999 or 2000, the state turned to the culture. The control was taken step by step. I mean, firstly, we could see some signs of powerful control during the first economic crisis in '98. Everything has ended in '99, when the first case was brought to the court. It was a performance of Avdiy Taraganyan. This was the first territory to be taken under control, and the territory was related to religion.
Меня зовут Авдий Траганьян, я предмет моего искусства это вот, собственно, авангард и модернизм. Всегда волновала эта тема, как можно быть вот таким вот авангардистом, там, первооткрывателем. В общем, мне сказали, что я могу получить от 2 до 4 лет, 2 года тюрьмы. Ну, я был совсем не готов к этому, ну, абсолютно. И я уехал в Чехию, вот, и 20 лет прожил. В 2019 году я вернулся в Москву, потому что дело уже было закрыто за давностью лет. Я был очень наивным человеком, вот, и не представлял себе, что такое возможно. То есть я тогда совсем не интересовался политикой. То есть, ну, к середине 90-х я как-то осознал, что мне очень скучно, скучно работать одному, и организовал такой проект, который назывался «Школа авангардизма». То есть они там прыгали на скакалке, они должны были выполнять какие-то физкультурные упражнения, потом они там должны были выкурить сигарету и выпить стакан вина. То есть я их учил всему плохому. А такие вот элементы, которые это молодой перформер должен изучить, это пародия на такую академическую школу якобы, да. В период 90-х была невероятная свобода, да, новая, значит, власть наша российская. То есть они занимались дележом собственности, и на то, что происходит там где-то в искусстве, им было просто наплевать. Они об этом не знали и не интересовались. И взамен стало опираться на религию, да. В этот момент параллельно церковь активно заявляла о себе. Я подкинул церкви такую удачную ситуацию. Стал раскручиваться политический скандал. То есть они в этом выиграли. Там выходила масса статей, передач.
Вы сатанизмом не увлекаетесь?
Да нет, это глупость. Я в данном случае отстаиваю свободу слова и мышления.
Я тут попался им, собственно, под руку.
Alô? Sou Helena Kilina, sou pesquisadora e practitioner de arte, sou da Sibéria e estou no Brasil quase 5 anos. The Mainline Group é nosso duo, a duo artístico, com minha companheira, minha amiga, Sofya Chibisguleva, que é russa. A gente acostumou a criar na distância, né? Videoarte, performance, storytelling. Ela é muito do lado de protesta, até que ela ainda posta nossos video performances, né, que fazemos com ela online, que é bem risco para ela, na verdade, muito mais que para mim. Então ela está tentando agora sair de Moscou, mas é difícil. Ela está no processo de resolver essa burocracia, mas eu acho que vai dar certo. Видишь? Я не ем и не пью, закрываю глаза, кладу время навеки и ухожу.
Yeah, so this is actually a piece where that we did with the help of a very talented team in Brazil, and with Lena, of course, my art duo partner, being the performer. It's a piece of poetry that I have written that kind of is based on the conversations between us that we had about the sort of immigration of the artists and the essentially the helplessness that a lot of people feel at the moment, and this kind of conversation of whether to leave or not to leave, to stay, does anything have a meaning at all? And we have shown it in some places, mainly in Brazil, because of course the Russian galleries do not allow this kind of stuff.
Уходи!
What we do with Lena is we've tried to avoid and dodge this censorship for as long as we can. But right now I feel like it is too dangerous, and too many people who are close to me are getting all of those fines, are going to jail.
É difícil explicar coisas russas às vezes. Acho que a primeira palavra é uma catarse e uma tragédia. Começamos com guerra. Esses últimos anos são extremos. Com guerra mudou absolutamente tudo. A Rússia agora vive no regime militar. A palavra guerra é proibida. A palavra paz, proibida. Você não pode criticar nada de exército. Esse crime.
I would say in general, the turning point politically, not for artists, but for everyone, was the protest on Bolotnaya Square. Government reinstituted this politics of, okay, we're gonna go after very specific people in the arts and culture and education and in science. Because before that, I would say maybe the authorities did not really consider them a threat. They were much more concerned with political opponents.
На этой неделе в России не прекращались поиски тонкой грани между искусством и политикой и богохульством.
Проект Pussy Riot громко заявил о себе в прошлом году и сразу же стал вызовом нормам общественной морали.
Камского поэта и учителя местной школы вступил в законную силу приговор районного суда. Отставного педагога Александра Бывшего судили за экстремистские высказывания, которые тот допустил в пафосном стихотворении, озаглавленном украинским патриотом.
Я хотела бы перейти к еще одной важной новости сегодняшнего дня. Она касается художницы Юлии Цветковой. Мне кажется, уже ее все знают в России. Вы помните, ее судили по делу о распространении порнографии. И вот сегодня стало известно, она уехала из России.
It started getting much worse in 2021 when there were the Navalny imprisonment riots. This is when the authorities got violent with people, on a major scale. We saw people getting detained and tortured, on a mass scale. And before that, this happened, but not but it was not, let's say, so popular. So I'm just going to switch this off or do something. Do you drink tea with milk or without milk? So we had this scare recently where I called police because I heard my downstairs neighbors fighting really terribly, and I heard screams, help, and I was terrified, so I called the police. It was a mess, there was a woman covered in blood, really bad. The police officers were okay, yeah, well, this is not good, and they were writing all this paperwork. And he asks her, oh, by the way, do you know who had stuck those stickers, anti-war stickers, in your elevator, and drawn all of those no war signs? For the record, I'm gonna say that I don't know. She was I don't know, let me think. At this moment, I just think, oh, I have to evacuate right now.
It seems to me that you have only a few ways to working in contemporary art in Russia right now. The first one is just not to work. And the second one is to use situation for commercial success. Maybe it connects with the economical situation because all money, I would say, is inside the country. But in fact, if you create something commercial in contemporary art, you can be on the top now. You're in a really good situation now.
Abstraction, which 40 years ago was considered a criminal act, now it's fine. If you want to make abstractions, do it. It's very nice. And maybe you will be successful in the sphere of art market because our rich people want something to decorate their houses. So now it's okay. Please paint your abstractions. But political activism in art is not that nice for the society. That's why some artists leave the country because they cannot work.
Без всяких оговорок, да и без всякой политической окраски.
Ну что, Лена, ситуация приобрела критический характер.
Не просто критический, Соня, а острый характер.
Без всякой политической окраски.
Right now in Russia, what kind of art can we see at the museums and galleries?
You can definitely see lots of old masters. You don't see much contemporary art, I would say. Or at least if you see it, it's not in major venues and museums and galleries. And if you see contemporary art in major or like mid-sized galleries, it's going to be fairly neutral. It's definitely not going to be political, and it's definitely not going to be social. It's more maybe abstract, figurative art, different genres that steer away from speculation of any kind.
И огромное количество людей, сопричастных к театру ДОК и стоящих у его истоков, в общем, сейчас за рубежом, и это тоже, конечно, объединяет какое-то такое творческое поле. Но здесь идет еще, вот, я как Алиса устал удивляться, и мы тоже не можем, так как автор пьесы Михаил Дурненков такая персона нон-грата, поэтому вот мы на себе испытываем, что мы не можем громко, там, шумно кричать, что вот наш драматург Миша Дурненков, и оставляем его фамилию, но вот не броско оставляем, но тем не менее, как бы, да, чуть-чуть это делаем не ярким, таким и вызывающим, что ли.
Он приехал сюда с женой и сыном из Москвы вскоре после начала войны. Помогли финские коллеги по совместному театральному проекту. Но это драматург, который выступил против войны, которому дома за это может грозить тюрьма. Председатель Союза театральных деятелей России Александр Калягин призвал тогда исключить драматурга Дурненкова из Союза. Несколько российских театров отменили показ спектаклей по его пьесам.
I was arrested for a performance that I did with this painting, which we've literally I've drawn like in one evening, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a funny joke. This is kind of drawn in the style of like the Soviet sort of posters that were back in the day. Oh, yeah. Which shows the toilet bowl cleaner, which in Putin's castle costs, I believe, about 100,000 rubles. Not really many people in Russia can afford this kind of furnishings. Originally, it was a joke, let's say that. The subject of the joke was Alexei Navalny's investigation of the so-called Putin's castle in Gelendzhik, which is southern Russia, on the Black Sea. Again, I'm gonna say allegedly, but we know what I mean. It sort of belongs to him, and it's the kind of riches that I think are unimaginable even to the kings and queens of the olden days. It is wealth to the point of suffocation. I remember that this toilet bowl cleaner became sort of the symbol of the irony, and a lot of people were evoking it, and over the few weeks that this investigation became popular, people were quoting it as a sort of like a mascot of this whole thing. I was inviting people to like, hey, do you want to join and buy it together with me? And people were taking this poster and taking pictures of it. The press was like approaching me. Originally, I just came to a protest with this kind of joking statement, and then it has turned into a performance art piece in a way. And this is why I got detained, essentially. But I managed to hide this, so I had a backpack with me because I knew that I was going to a protest and I knew that likely I'm going to get detained. So lots of Russians knew that if you go to a protest, you have to pack a survival kit for yourself, like essential medicines. If you need medicines, like a pair of socks, some water, some food, like your passport, an extra phone, like a power bank, because chances are, if you get detained, you're going to be there for a maximum of 2 weeks.
You know personally anyone who has been jailed because of their artwork?
I know Evgenia Berkovich, the director, who was taken for her performance against terrorism. The play was written by Svetlana Petrichuk, and she is now also in prison. This play was devoted to wives of terrorists, why they got married to them and why they decided to be with such kind of people and so on.
2,5 месяца назад я познакомилась с мужчиной в интернете. Он не русский, он Сирии.
It's really weird because you stage this performance against terrorism, but you're now in prison as for propaganda of terrorism. But it was like that somebody just went to police and wrote something against this performance. We have different versions how it was organized, but certainly it was because of anti-war positions of these two women.
Sasha Skalichenko was put in jail for her performance, which was recognized as anti-war demonstration. She changed 5 tickets in the supermarket, which looked like a price ticket. 5 tickets she put in the supermarket, and she got 7 years of jail.
A maioria da minha família apoia Putin e apoia o que está acontecendo hoje em dia na Ucrânia e não tem conversa. Eu desisti um pouquinho, na verdade, para falar sobre isso, porque eu mandando materiais, né, mandando coisas, e a gente não de Moscou, a gente muito de interior.
Происходит такая поляризация мнений невероятная, как бы, да? Такой невероятный накал, который я не наблюдал в 90-е годы. Сейчас это такая поп-политика. И вот этот конфликт между либералами и консерваторами, он, мне кажется... И, естественно, вот эта политизация, большинство художественной тусовки занимало такие либеральные, все более... не все, конечно, но многие. Агрессивно такие политические либеральные позиции. Например, Петр Верзилов, лидер группы Pussy Riot, вступил в ВСУ. С одной стороны, они видят в этих людях действительно опасность, но они не понимают, кто из них кто и так далее. Естественно, власть действует очень грубо, поскольку они не понимают, с чем имеют дело.
Me and a friend of mine, a brilliant artist, we did a series of 3 talks on the contemporary arts and its intersection with science, which you would think is a very neutral topic. Like arts and science, not too much politics, right? However, we did it at a state-owned gallery, and it got so much censorship that I was like, why? For example, they banned us from using the word provocation You can't do that. They were essentially going, you can't say this word, and that word. It was so interesting that they were not really concerned with what we're saying, but with how we're saying it, which to me is a really good descriptor of what's going on with the censorship right now.
I guess that there will be, as it was at Soviet Union, there will be official art and unofficial one. So, unfortunately, the history is always repeating in this territory. Will it be the long period or short one? Certainly it will be interesting, as usual on this territory, and weird and dangerous. We should find maybe other ways how to be in the dialogue with different types of people, with every citizen in our country, even if they really hate us.
Now, there are no protests because people don't have hope. They know that nothing is going to come. And especially for the arts, I don't see myself being able to have a career here as an artist without censorship. At this point, to me, being safe and being able to go outside without constantly monitoring my periphery and looking for police officers or anything, it seems like such a luxury. And I feel like at some point after I leave, I'm just going to really enjoy the fact that I'm safe. Probably like maybe a tire. I don't know.